morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Nancy Ennis, and I'm so glad you all are here today and that we can be together in this time of contemplation and celebration. So I welcome you to Unity of Charlotte, and I welcome you into our time of contemplation, a time to just be quiet and still for a while as we begin our time together today. So let us begin our time together with our mission statement. Take a moment and remember who we are and what Spirit is calling us to do, and we'll take that together. We are a vibrant community dedicated to celebrating spiritual freedom and sharing abundant joy through love, prayer, and service. Welcome home. And I hope you will feel that welcome home as you're with us here today. Our chaplain will bring our daily word.
I embrace changes in my life. Once I thought of life as a project to plan. I set goals, created a timeline, and expected results. Over time, I've learned on Earth is as unpredictable as the weather. The only one thing certain is change. I may react with fear when my life changes. When this happens, I pick up spiritual tools. Throughout the day, I affirm, I deny the power of fear. I am wise, capable, and confident. I embrace change. Spirit guides and supports me as I leave behind familiar faces, places, and habits. I let go of expectations and leave the outcome to God. Love remains no matter what. I am the peace Jesus so lovingly shared. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. John 14:27. I'm Darcel Spears. I would love to be your chaplain today for anyone who'd like to pray or who'd like to just share with me joy or whatever after service.
So I'm just going to invite you to get quiet and still for a moment. And then bring all of your attention to your heart. That wonderful heart space that is always there waiting for us to connect to it. So let's do that by just breathing in and out through that heart space for a few moments. Then feeling the care and the compassion and the love, the feelings that are in our heart. And send that love to ourselves first. Let it fill our entire being from our head to our toes to our fingertips. And radiate out from us. Like a light shining forth. Or like a wave on the ocean flowing in. However that is for you, let it radiate out from you. Connect with the other heart lights that are shining in this moment in this room. Let them join together in the one heart. The heart of oneness. Then let's send our prayer energy around this building. We are so blessed to be here and to have this as our spiritual home. Do that in a moment of gratitude. Send it out from this building. So for a moment we could imagine the people going down the street in their cars, being touched by the power of love that's flowing from this place. The people walking on the sidewalk. That love flowing all around the area. Touching hearts. Healing. Harmonizing. And making all things whole. Let's send that love to all the places in our world that are seeking love at this moment. We could send it to grief, the trouble spot this whole week. We can see them working together in harmony, and their financial issues being solved in wondrous ways that we can't even imagine. We send them that prayer this morning. We send it to all the places in the world that have had such incredible weather conditions, floods and tornadoes and trees falling down. All the people who are sad and grieving. Those who are in the hospital today. Those who are taking care of them in the hospital. Sending this love wherever it feels right for us to send it in this moment. Sending it to all of our elected officials, all those who are running for election already, that they may know you, God, that they may work from their heart in the spirit of love. So in this world, we will know that love wins always, and we'll know it again and again till it becomes part of who we are. We thank you for all of our blessings. We thank you for this time in our heart, for feeling the connection with everyone in the world for a few moments. You are so good, we are so grateful, and so it is. Amen. So centered in our hearts, let's join together and sing our sacred song, which talks about that very thing. It's called Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. It is you, God, who put your kingdom deep within the heart of man. It is you, God, who knows our weakness. You refine us with your own hand. Oh, lead me, Spirit, to see the wholeness deep within me and in every one. Fill our hearts with your lofty Spirit and take all our cares away.
So feeling ourselves centered now in our heart and connected to that sanctuary our heart is within us as we come into a time of reflection. So this morning, our message is about sacred sound. And our reflection is about a tribe that was in West Africa. It seems this time recognized in some way that our soul had a sacred sound, a vibration that radiates out from us and connects with the other vibrations. And it's a sound that is unique to our soul. This tribe knew that, and they had a special way of honoring that. It seemed when women of this tribe got pregnant, they got their friends together, they went out in the world, in the woods, in a sacred place, and they prayed and they meditated to get the sacred sound for the baby yet to be born. And when they all came together and they had that sound, they brought it forth as a song. a song that they went back, they taught the people in the village how to sing it, and they had that song for that baby before it was born. Recognize the baby's vibration, and that song would make that baby be everything that he came to be. So it seemed that when the child was born, then the whole tribe came together and sang that song as the baby was being born and into the baby's first days on life. And over they sang the song. And there were special occasions that they always sang the song. For example, when the child went into education, they chanted the song. When the child went into the initiation and the rites of adulthood, they sang the song. At the wedding, the song was always sung, so it followed that child to adulthood and beyond. Because finally, when it was time for that soul to leave the earth, the people of the village came together at the bedside, and just like they did at the birth, they sang that song as the person passed on to the next life. So in this tribe, there were other occasions that they sang the song. And one of them was if the person, I'll just say, did something that he shouldn't have done, committed a crime, an antisocial behavior, something like that. The whole tribe came together in community. They brought that person into the village, put him in the center of the circle, sang his song over and over and over. Because what the tribe believed, that punishment was not the way to heal things. That if we could find our own song and it could be sung to us and we could find our identity, we would not need anything else and we would never hurt anyone again. So that's how the tribe honored the sacred soul and the sacred song that came from the soul. Probably most of us didn't have our own song sung to us when we were growing up, right? Did anyone? Didn't think so. It's not something yet in our culture, but it sure could be, couldn't it? It's a wonderful thing. So even though we didn't get it sung to us, we still have that sacred sound in our soul. Maybe we didn't recognize it because it was never told to us it was there. It was never celebrated as something that we had. It could be that. But it's always been there. And even though it wasn't sung to us, we can still find it. Because others who love us know our song. And they can help us remember our song when we've forgotten it. Or when we feel ugly, they can remind us we're beautiful. Or when we think we can't, they remind us we can. And what happens over time, by and by, we begin to get it. We begin to get that song of our authentic self that's uniquely ours. Or we might begin to sing it quietly through our actions and our behavior. And then we might know it more and more. In the beginning, it might be warbly, I think they call it, when you can't really sing on key. But that would clarify for us, and we would get that song, and we would know it inside of us. So the question that I have for reflection today, for us to ask ourselves whenever we want to, what is my sacred sound? The sound of my heart and soul and of my vibration that I send out into this field we're connected to. What is that sacred sound? And if that sacred sound were known, what song would it sing? Now, we probably all know some way a song that resonates within us. And every time we hear it, we feel like we're at home, like we know it. That might be our sacred song. It could be one we could go home today and write for ourselves that would come from our heart, that we could hum and then we could put it to music and we could sing it and teach other people to sing it. I don't know how we could find our sacred song, but each one of us does. So if we ask that question of ourselves, what is my sacred sound? And if it were a song, what would it sound like? And then we opened our eyes and our ears to how the universe would supply this to us. We'd all know our song by the end of the week. So those are the questions for reflection that I will leave you with today. And may we all find our sacred sound and honor it. May we all sing our sacred sound loud and clear and be the authentic person we came here to be, fulfill our unique soul purpose in the way only we can. May we all do that. So let us move through our reflection now into a time of meditation. Time of reflection, a time in the quietness and the stillness. So I invite you now to just go to that inner sanctuary for your heart and your soul and the essence and uniqueness of who you are as the Spirit of God on this earth, where it resides in you. And breathe in and out through your heart again as we connect to our heart. The wisdom of our heart knows our song. It's our heart song. And if we ask that wisdom, it would be revealed to us. So quiet and still now. Breathing deeply of the breath of life. Relaxing in our chair. Letting our shoulders droop down. Tension in our physical body melt away. Let us go now into a time of silence. A time we can hear the sound, the sacred sound of silence within us. Sometimes we're so busy, have so much to do, we're so in our head that we forget about the silence within us. But not today. Today we're going to experience it together. So I'm going to just invite you to let a sacred word come into your mind, into your heart. Say that word over to yourself a few times. Any word that comes to you is the word for you. Say it over a few times. And then let it go. And go into the sacred sound of the silence. And we'll do that together. So letting the word now resonate in our minds. Letting it go. And entering a time of silence. Hearing the sacred sound of silence within us. Always there. In the silence. So settle now in that silent place. You might like to ask the wisdom of your heart. What is my heart sound? What is my heart song? The wisdom of our heart knows the way for us. Listen in the silence of your own being. Whatever comes to you is the right and perfect answer. If nothing comes to you, it will later. So we thank you, God. We thank you for this time to come apart for a while. To be immersed in your holy presence. To find it within us. To feel it around us. To join our heart to heart. And to experience your peace. We thank you for all of our blessings. We go forward in this time to be our authentic self. To be the expression of your love on this earth. And so it is. Amen.
Welcome, Holy Spirit. We are in your presence.
Yes, we are.
Fill us with your power. Live inside of me. Welcome, Holy Spirit. We are in your presence. Fill us with your power.
welcome, Holy Spirit.
We are in your presence.
Yes, we are.
Fill us with your power. Live inside of me. Fill us with your power. Live inside of me.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, listen to my heart song. 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 I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen to my heart song. 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 I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen to my heart song. 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 I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee.
Energy is in the house. I feel it. Thank you for just getting up and moving. Felt good, didn't it? Some of the rest of you should know and experience that wonderful freedom of bringing your inner self to your outer self. You know, we go in a lot and visit. Bring the visitor home. You ever thought of doing that? Bring that wonderful sacred place that you go to of peace and silence and joy, bring it back out and let your body, all those 100 trillion cells, rejoice at the coming of your true spiritual self. And dance is such a wonderful thing that I love. So we want to welcome all of you that are here this morning, especially you that are here for the first time. Would you let us know by raising your hand? Tamara, right here. We want to welcome you this morning. We also want to welcome all of you that are joining us through television and you that will be watching us on YouTube.
I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm gonna say bye-bye, so long, farewell. I never wanted them anyhow. Let the record record, I turned them over to the Lord. That's what freedom's all about. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm gonna say bye-bye, so long, farewell, never wanted them anyhow. I let the record record, return them over to the Lord, that's what freedom is all about. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. Well, I'm gonna turn over all of my problems, let God take them every one. I'm gonna let go of what I want, let God's own will be done. Well, I'm going on down to the river, gonna grab my worries and hand deliver them over to the Lord down by the river shore. I said I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm gonna say bye-bye, so long, farewell, never wanted them anyhow. Oh, let the record record and turn them over to the Lord, that's what freedom is all about. Well, I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. My doubts and fears ain't gonna fake no more. These troubles are just too heavy for me, but not so for my Lord. These burdens have shackled me for so long, gonna let God handle them from now on. Well, bless my soul, I'm giving the Lord control. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm gonna say bye-bye, so long, farewell, never wanted them anyhow. Let the record record, turn them over to the Lord, that's what freedom is all about. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down. I'm going down to the river, gonna lay my worries down.
Today is about sound, sacred sound. For you that are new and don't know, I teach and certify people in sound therapy using sound through the vibration of tuning forks, which is an international company that we're located here at Unity of Charlotte. So sound has always been very powerful in my life. I ask every class that I teach, what is the most perfect sound in all the universe? And most people will say, Om. That is the first primordial sound. Om is a primordial sound. It carries all the potential of all other sounds. But it's not the most perfect sound. Silence. We don't think of silence as a sound, but it is the most perfect sound in all the universe. Now, the sounds that we hear is when we disrupt silence. If I had a tuning fork in my hand and just held a tuning fork, you would not hear anything but silence coming from it. But if I struck it on a sound puck and interrupted that silence with vibration, you would hear the sound through the vibration. It's the same way with light. The same light runs through a prism, but because of the different frequencies of that prism, the light is the most dense will come out red, little dense orange, little dense yellow, little dense green, and so on and so forth. The same light. There's no red light separate from orange light. It's the same light going through different frequencies that's giving you a different interpretation of the same thing. So it's very powerful when Nancy leads us into that meditation and we go into that moment of silence. Probably a lot of you would be honest, you would say, that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Some of us don't like silence. Some of us, first thing we do, we turn the television on, we get on the phone. We have things going because it distracts us. We need to learn how to move out of that distraction and to move back into that place of the silence where all potential is there for us. I'd like to start out with a poem by Kathy Gazzetta. I've used this for years, but I like it. It says, "The forms of snowflakes and faces of flowers may take on their shape because they are responding to some sound in nature. Likewise, it is possible that crystals, plants, and human beings may be in some way music that has been made visible." With my bizarre imagination, which I have a huge one, which has served me pretty well, I like to imagine whatever my Creator is, that undefinable, transcendent intelligence, having that its own sacred moment. The only reason we can have anything sacred is because something had something sacred before that has shared it with us, because we're effect. But we have to have a cause. So we can call Creator first cause. So anything that you can do on a spiritual level has been done and extended to you as your potential and possibility. So just imagine whatever you see your Creator is. If you want to see him as an old man with a beard and have that anthropomorphic idea of God, you can have that too. But just whatever you think it is, the undefinable, just imagine it having its moment of self-realization when all of a sudden it realizes, I exist. I want you to feel that. I think that's so powerful to me. To think, because I've asked all my life, why did you ever start this? You're God, for God's sake. Why did you even start this creation thing? Look at it. What a risk you took. So I've always wondered the why. Why? And I had to realize that even though whatever God is the all, omnipotent, omnipresent, we could say it's all love. That's the highest thing that we know God as a feeling or an emotion, is love. But who wants to be all love and have nothing to love? What fun is that? I don't know how many women, especially, I haven't had very men, but mostly women who come to me and say, oh, pray that someone comes into my life. I have so much love in me to give to somebody. It wasn't enough to have the love. They wanted to extend the love. And it took another person to respond. Response and stimuli. Love wants a stimulus. It wants to be moved into action. Creation is love in action. It's not a noun, it's a verb. It is love becoming. I never understood that until I had my daughter. Up until that time, I had no idea what it would be like to be a parent, to be a father, to go through that whole experience. I hadn't thought 1 minute about it. Wasn't even in my plans. But it happened anyway, as things do. And when they put that little girl into my hands, I immediately became something that was only a potential lying dormant in me. In other words, she made me become. In her, I am a father. In her, I'm dad. But it was in me that she brought it out and I became that. We are the same way with God. So I'd like to imagine God having that moment, that creative moment in which, wow, I am all love, I exist. And then an idea. When the idea came, Creator went, oh. I get it. Oh. And that was the first primordial sound that went out. And if something as big as what I'm talking about did that, that could be the Big Bang. Can you imagine something as huge as something that has no beginning, no end, no birth, no death, making a sound, Om? It literally was such a powerful vibration that the vibrations begin to find themselves eventually into solar systems, universes, and planets and stars. That's how my imagination runs. But it's with sound. The Christian Bible tells us that in the beginning was the Word. I thought about that. I looked up the word word, and it says, word is an expressed thought. I said, in the beginning was the thought. Then I got reading some of the Eastern stuff, the Vedas, the Hindus, and whatever. And they said in there, in the beginning was the sound. The sound was the thought. The thought became the Word, and the Word became flesh. Sound. Sound has always been considered a direct link between humanity and the divine. At some point, all of the ancient mystery schools taught their students to use sound. Thousands of years ago, as far back as you can go into indigenous peoples, Egypt, Greeks, doesn't matter. Everyone was taught the connection with that which was bigger than themselves was through sound. Sound is a creative healing force. It is considered the oldest form of healing that we know. It was a predominant part of the early teachings of Greeks, Eastern Indians, Tibetans, American Indians, Mayas, and the Aztecs, and so on. Remember, all energy follows thought. All energy follows thought. It says, where our attention goes, the energy will flow. So it's important what we put our thoughts toward, because the next step is if we vocalize that energy, we're giving great impulse toward manifestation. In other words, you can't just sit around and think prosperity. You can't just think prosperity. You can't just let it roll around in your head. I'm going to think healing. I'm going to think healing. It says unless you release that thought, because, and this is a very important thing to learn, is that all sound is a carrier of consciousness. This is why I've taught all the people that I've taught throughout the world, never go and work on a client after you've just had an argument with your significant other, or a business or something that went on that made you angry or upset, because you make beautiful sounds with bowls or whatever, but if you're in that consciousness of anger or upset, the sound you make will carry your consciousness to your client. So it comes back that healing begins with the healer. If the healer does not heal first, then the healer has nothing to extend to the one that they're trying to heal. Does that make sense to you? I'll say that again. Heal thyself, O physician. That's powerful. Heal thyself, O Reiki master. Heal thyself, O some energetics practitioner. Heal thyself, all of you that do any form of healing. Make sure that healing begins in you. Of course, the miracle says that all consciousness at the deepest level is in communication with all other consciousness. There is a unified field of all consciousness that creates this universal field of all consciousness having connection. Edgar Cayce says sound will be the medicine of the future. When I started this 15 years ago, Some Energetics, I was pretty much out there on my own. People thought I was crazy. I lost a lot of people in my ministry that I had built up over the years because of going into sound and frequency and vibration. I just didn't think it was too Christian enough. Although it's all over the Bible if you learn how to read it. The Bible starts out, and God moved across the face of the deep. Translation of that is God, one, fluttered across the face of the deep. And the best one yet is God vibrated across the face of the deep. Why would we not bring vibration into our lives when it is the first thing that happens in the story of creation itself is through vibration? We should not be surprised about the healing qualities of sound. Traditional methods such as human voice, a gong, a didgeridoo, tuning forks, drums have been used for thousands of years to help heal injuries, illnesses all over this planet. In a sense, the body's absorption of harmonic sounds is similar to the life-giving energy absorbed from food. Harmonic sounds as a nourishment for the body in the same way food we eat. How are you treating your etheric body? There's so much emphasis on our physical body. Eating the right carbs, eating low sugar, eating this and all of that. But you've got to understand your physical body is coming from another body that is before the physical body, which is your energy body. It is your etheric body. Now, I'm not giving you a bunch of New Age woo-woo with that. Trust you me, I wouldn't be teaching it if it had not become scientifically proved. Dr. Gerber, medical doctor, who wrote one of the most wonderful books, Vibrational Medicine. And I quote, says, energy disturbances in the etheric body and the acupuncture meridian system precede the physical cellular manifestation of illness. That means that most diseases are in your etheric body 6 to 9 months to a year before it ever becomes a part of the development of the cells of your body in the form of a disease. My passion, if you want to know what my passion is and where I think we are missing it, is not more preventive work. We do not need to get the diagnosis that we have a disease and we have 6 months or a year to live when we could have worked in the energy body that is going to end up as our physical body and change the pattern of disease before it becomes a disease. Is that all right? Somebody says, well, I'm not going to go to him. Those tuning forks, nothing wrong with me. Maybe you just need a tune-up. We tune up our pianos, we tune up this, we tune up that. When's the last time you've had a good tune-up? Deepak Chopra says the body is held together by sound. It is the glue that holds the body together. The presence of disease indicates that some sounds have gone out of tune. What a great quote that is. Sound. I'm going to show you a little bit how powerful sound can be, even the way we talk to each other. A parent talking to their child, a boss talking to their employee, or vice versa. It's the tone and the sound that can actually repattern our physiology, and this is a well-known science called cymatics. Cymatics is an old science back in the 19th century and the 1800 centuries by a German physicist who really found this out, named Ernest Cologne, but it became made famous by a Swiss doctor by the name of Hans Jenny, who actually put this together. Now, as I speak to you, you're hearing me from one part of your brain. But if I decided to sing my message to you right now, it went to another part of your brain. That's why I used to like to preach in the black churches. Because we just kind of got into a tune just a little bit, yeah, Lord. Things started moving. I didn't know why, but it's because we shifted to a different part of the brain than speaking. But music itself touches and affects the entire part of the brain. Well, I could go on and on about this subject because it's what I teach and what I do. But it's because I teach it, because I so see the effect of it all over the world. Western music, of course we love Western music, we who are raised in the West, because it's attached to memory. As Nancy was saying, we all have a song we all like, probably from the 50s or the 60s or somewhere. And some of them are good memories, and some of them are, some of you are just falling in love, some you're breaking up. Some make you sad, some make you happy. And that is because the sound gets caught in the net of the emotional body. And once it's caught in the net of the emotional body, it knocks us out consciously. This is why people do the things they do and don't even know why they do it. I'm convinced there's people sitting in prisons all over the world and all over this country that really are not bad people who did a bad thing because they were caught in their emotional body and knocked out consciously and reacted. That can be totally rehabilitated and do not need to sit at the taxpayers' money for the rest of their lives. But that's just my feeling about it. And the reason I feel that way is because we all have done it. I'm not a person to overreact with emotion, but I remember one time doing it and being so upset that rather than say anything, I just took my hand and knocked it on a door and broke my little finger. It's still not right. Reminds me. But I don't remember doing it. And I thought, if I will remember doing something like that, who else is doing horrible things? I mean, my goodness, guns are everywhere. You can tote your gun anywhere nowadays, and that's not good for some people. Gets knocked out emotionally, consciously. It's not a good idea. Because something could happen and they weren't even totally conscious of what they did. We have to become a more mindful and conscious people. Sound helps us to do that. So how I'm going to close my part of this today is we're going to do a little chant that's going to be so simple and so easy. No music, but I'm going to ask Greg to give us an F in just a moment. And here's why I'm going to do this in F, is because in studying the cultures, F is the key for spirit in Chinese medicine. At one time, the emperors many years ago, not the China we know today, but the old China, everything used to be something else, even America. But if you go back to the original aspects of things and music, you'll see that they went through the providences and checked the sound of the music to know if the providence was in tune with itself. And they did the key of F and chose the way of spirit. In the East, such as in the Hindu and Buddhists of the East, they went with C sharp, which is the note for soul, because their emphasis was on the incarnation and reincarnation of the soul. So when you do an ohm, I have an ohm tuning fork, it would be C sharp on the piano. So you ohm to that. In the West, in America and in the West, we chose the G clef. When you see that clef, that's a G clef, because we chose G, which is externalism, materialism, climbing the corporate ladder, labels in our clothes, and all that kind of stuff we do in the West to make us think we feel good about ourselves. So I'm going to choose the F. And I'm going to ask this group here to do this with me first, and it's just hallelujah is all you have to say in this. You're going to sing it, then you're going to join in these two, and then over here, and then together. And no music other than the note. I want you to stand in your own sound. One Wednesday we were here and no music, and Tom got up and sang, and he didn't have his background recordings, and I said, go for it, Tom. And I never heard Tom sing any deeper than he did that day because he had no, instrument as sort of a crutch. Now, you know I'm not against instruments, but we tend, this guy carries us. He covers a multitude of sins in this room. He's so good. But I'm going to ask you to stand in your own authentic nakedness, if you please. This is not a talent contest. But I want you to be in your own sound. So it goes something like this. Hallelujah. 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 Okay. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Again. Hallelujah. Here. Hallelujah. 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 Here. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And here. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Everybody together. Hallelujah. 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 Take a deep breath. Everybody sing. You are the words and the music. You are the reason that I sing. You are the melody. You are the harmony. Praise to your name I will sing. You are the mighty one. You are the light of life. You are the expression of love. Now I return to you the song that you gave to me. You are the song that I sing. Got it? All right. You are the words and the music. Good. You are the reason that I sing. You are the melody. You are the harmony. Praise to your name, oh, I will sing. Yeah. You are the mighty one. You are the light of life. You are the expression of love. Now I return to you the song that you gave to me. You are the song that I know it's late, but can't we just sing it one more time? You're doing so good. You are the words and the music. You are the reason that I sing. Good. You are the melody. You are the harmony. Praise to your name I will sing. You are the mighty one. You are the light of life. You are the expression of love. that I see. Bless you. Thank you. Namaste.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nancy Ennis, and I'm the Senior Minister at Unity of Charlotte, and I'm glad you are with us today.
Hi, and I'm David Hulse, Minister of Education here at Unity of Charlotte, and we're glad to have you being with us today and viewing what we have here at Unity to offer you.
Unity was started on prayer. It's about 125 years old, and this was one of the co-founders, Myrtle Fillmore, healed a chronic disease in a wonderful way by loving the cells of her body. Unity was founded on prayer and healing and believes in the goodness of God and the one power of God on this earth, and that we are all connected to God, and we have a piece of God within us, and that is for us to share with the world. So we hope you will join us. We're here every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. for our Sunday celebration and contemplation service.
Unity of Charlotte is a very unique community. We embrace all people. We see people at the deepest core as a divine being having a human experience. So we welcome people of all denominations, all walks of life are always welcome here at Unity of Charlotte. We really believe that Spirit is very inclusive and embraces all of us, wherever we are, whatever we're experiencing at this particular time. So we do want to give you a very heart-filled, special invitation to come and join us. If you can, in person, we'd love to meet you.
God bless. Have a wonderful week.